Dear wife. He just doesn't understand me, no matter how many times I try. I've explained, I've reasoned, I've pleaded, yet my words go unheard. I am exhausted from repeating myself. But you, he is so attached to you, he listens to you more than anyone else. Why don't you talk to him? You leave early for university and return late in the evening, too tired for any meaningful conversation with me. We barely get a chance to discuss these matters. But this is our son, and his life is slipping away day by day. His age is moving forward, yet marriage isn't happening. Tell me, how long can this go on?
Jack, this will go on until he changes his controlling nature. I am his mother, and I have tried countless times to sit him down and explain that every human being has the right to live life according to their own will. You cannot control people, you cannot dictate every aspect of their choices. But our son Fred, he is so self-centered, so dominant, and so stubborn that these truths never enter his mind. He believes control equals love, and that is where he destroys his own chances.
But don't you think we are running out of time? I look at him, and I worry about the future. His nature is shutting every door before he even knocks on it. Families come, girls come, and everything seems so close to settling, yet in the end, they all reject him. Why? Because of his impossible behavior. We can't keep blaming the world, saying everyone else is wrong. At some point, we must admit that the problem lies with our son.
I know. And I reached the conclusion long ago. I stopped pressing him about marriage because it became pointless. I introduced 2, even 3 respectable families, and each time, preparations were moving forward. Yet, at the last moment, the girls themselves refused. They said openly, "We cannot marry such a man." Do you know how humiliating it feels? As a mother, I stood there listening to their rejection, hearing people question my parenting. The pain of that cannot be described.
It's heartbreaking. And the worst part is, Fred doesn't even see it. He thinks he's right, and the entire world is wrong. But tell me, what about Luna? She's a good girl, with patience and kindness. Don't you think maybe she can handle him?
Luna is indeed a good girl, but I fear she won't last long with him either. Fred's demands are not just strict, they are illogical. What kind of man tells his wife not to meet her siblings after marriage, not to work, not to see her elder sister, not to speak freely to her parents or even her brother over the phone? Marriage is not slavery, it is a bond of love and trust. Luna cannot live by just saying, "Yes sir, okay sir," to every unreasonable command. A marriage without freedom will suffocate her.
Then what will happen? What path is left for him? How will this ever be resolved if he refuses to change?
Some lessons life itself teaches. Some lessons come only through hardships and bitter experiences. I have spoken, I have reasoned, I have even pleaded with him. But Fred listens to no one. He lives with the belief that he is right, and everyone else is wrong. I've grown silent now, not because I don't care, but because my words have lost their weight. Life will have to teach him the lessons he refuses to hear from me. And do you know what hurts the most? Because of him, I have faced humiliation in many places. People whisper, people blame my upbringing, people point fingers at me as if I failed as a mother. That pain cuts deeper than anything. But what can I say now? I have handed it over to God. Only He can bring goodness into this matter, because I have no strength left to argue or to fix what Fred refuses to change.
Sir Fred, how are you? I hope everything is fine with you. Actually, I came here today because something has been troubling my mind for many days now. It keeps bothering me, and I couldn't find an answer myself. So, I thought it's best to ask you directly. Sir, are you upset with me about something? Have I done anything that offended you? Don't you have any other work? Are you here to perform your duty as a watchman or to stand on the road and question me like some interviewer? You know very well I am on my way to the office, and yet you block my path with these unnecessary talks. Just because I helped you once does not mean you can climb over my head and treat me as if I owe you explanations. Sir, please don't misunderstand me. I did not come here to ask for help or to burden you. I only wanted to clear my heart. For some time, I have noticed that your mood towards me seems very different, almost hostile. I keep wondering what mistake I made that caused this anger. That's all I came to ask. Sir, what have I done to upset you so much? I cannot stand these pointless questions, and I especially hate people poking into matters that are none of their concern. Do not ever ask me about my personal life again. I am telling you clearly, your job is to do your duty, not to question me like some family member. Keep your curiosity to yourself, or you will regret it. But sir, I never once asked about your personal life. I have always respected you and never crossed my limits. All I wanted to know was the reason behind your anger towards me. You glare at me as if I've wronged you in some way, yet I cannot recall ever doing such a thing. Sir, please tell me, what is the reason for this coldness between us? I don't have time for this nonsense. I've told you once and I'll tell you again, never speak to me about such things. I am going to the office, and I do not wish to waste my precious time answering your foolish questions. The next time you stop me like this, I will make sure you regret it. Sir, forgive me if I've overstepped. My intention was not to waste your time or irritate you. I simply wanted clarity, because I value your respect. But if you insist that I should never ask again, then I will remain silent. Still, sir, I hope one day you will understand that I only spoke out of genuine concern. Concern or not, I don't want it. I've told you once and for all, never question me about my private life after today. Stick to your work. That is all. Fred, relax man, just relax. Why are you walking so fast, almost as if you're running from something? What happened to you? You look furious, and I can clearly see it in your face. Tell me honestly, who said something to you out there that made you lose your temper like this? What exactly happened? It was that Watchman again. He came up to me and started his nonsense, asking questions as if he has the right to know about my personal life. I've already warned him once, but he doesn't listen. I have decided now, if he ever dares to ask me another question or tries to speak to me again, I will give him such a harsh reply that he will remember it for the rest of his life. Fred, let me tell you something, you don't always need others to create problems. Sometimes we give the world reasons ourselves. And you, my friend, are doing exactly that. Instead of changing yourself, you want to change the whole world around you. Don't you realize that society looks for our flaws, and you've made yourself the center of attention by your own stubbornness and arrogance? You've turned your life into a stage, a drama, where you are both the actor and the clown, because you refuse to change your rigid way of thinking. I don't know why I even bother listening to your useless lectures. You want me to bow down to people? You want me to flatter them, to act like their servant, and to please them by doing whatever they demand? I am not built that way. If my heart and my mind don't agree with something, I will never do it. No, Fred. That's not what I am asking of you. I am saying life must be lived with wisdom. You may give charity, you may help others, you may support people, but if your behavior, your attitude, and your words towards them are filled with control, pride, and harshness, then tell me, what good will all your efforts bring? You do all these things for the sake of God, don't you? But how will God be pleased if his people are hurt by you, if they complain about you, or if they laugh at you for the way you treat them? I don't care what people say. I care only about what I know is right. If people can't handle me, then let them leave. I will not change myself just because the world expects me to act weak or submissive. I will never allow others to dictate how I live. I don't need the approval of anyone. And that, Fred, is exactly why you will end up alone. No one wants to walk with a man who thinks he is always right and everyone else is wrong. You call it strength, but in reality, it's arrogance. You think you are the wisest, the most intelligent, the most correct person on this earth. But the truth is, your pride is isolating you. You will lose friends, you will lose family, and one day, even Luna will not stay by your side if you keep treating her as if she were a slave rather than a partner. Enough. I don't need your pity or your warnings. You think you're wise, but you are just like the others, expecting me to bend to the world's demands. I will never do that. If Luna wants to stay, she stays. If she wants to leave, she leaves. I will not compromise my principles for anyone, not even her. And as for you, if you can't respect that, then keep your advice to yourself. You see, Fred, You don't even realize how far gone you are. You mistake stubbornness for strength and domination for love. You're blind to the fact that life is about balance, about giving space, about respect. I've said all I could. I won't waste my breath anymore. My only prayer now is that you change before it's too late. Otherwise, mark my words, you will drown in loneliness. And when that day comes, don't say I didn't warn you. Go away from my sight right now. I don't need friends who try to weaken me. I stand alone, and I will always stand strong. Leave.
I think the time has come for me to have a final conversation with Fred. I cannot keep dragging this on, pretending everything will eventually change. This was my decision. I chose him against my parents' advice. They warned me. They said, a person never truly changes. But I wanted to believe otherwise. I thought maybe, just maybe, Fred would learn, would soften, would realize that relationships are built on compromise and love, not control. Yet all I feel now is that I am becoming smaller and smaller in this relationship, while he refuses to change at all. It's as if Fred does not even want a marriage. What he wants is a contract. And in this contract, he has already laid out terms and conditions. I must quit my job. I must stop meeting people. I must not invite anyone to my home. And worst of all, I must even cut ties with my own sister. What kind of love is this, where freedom is stripped away and everything is dictated? Who will explain to him that relationships cannot survive under rules and commands, that marriage is not ownership but partnership? When I look around at the world, I see the usual reasons why marriages struggle. Women often say they want a handsome, wealthy husband with status and property. Men, on the other hand, demand a beautiful, educated, and socially smart wife. These are the common desires, the common causes of broken matches. But in my case, it's none of those things. Fred has neither demanded wealth nor beauty nor status. What he demands is far worse. He wants me to surrender my will completely, to live exactly as he dictates, as if my individuality doesn't exist. And I keep thinking, what if tomorrow he goes even further? If he can ask me today to end my relationship with my sister, what if tomorrow he demands that I stop meeting my parents? What if one day he commands me to cut ties with everyone I love, just because he feels threatened? Would that be justice? Is that what marriage is supposed to look like? If this is love, then why does it feel more like a cage than a home? No, I cannot keep living in denial. I've made up my mind. I will speak to him one last time. I will ask Fred directly, is he willing to change? If he says yes, if he genuinely tries to correct himself, then maybe we can still move forward. But if he refuses, if he insists on remaining this rigid, then I will step back. I will walk away, because I was the one who told him that I wanted us to be together. I was the one who believed he could change. But now, if he proves me wrong, then I must be strong enough to let go. God, at first I only followed the voice of my heart and I took this step, but now I am deeply troubled. The person I am trying so hard to change refuses to change, and I feel powerless. You know everything, God. You see Fred's nature, how controlling he is. After marriage, life should not be lived like this, where one partner constantly suppresses the other and only follows his own will. This is not the meaning of love or partnership. God, I am crying to you because I feel trapped in this situation, and my soul is restless. I ask you to give me strength and inner peace in this storm. God, I do not want my marriage to become a prison of suffering. I do not want to live in regret, spending my whole life in sorrow and tears. I want a marriage filled with respect, care, and balance, not fear and control. Show me the path that is best for me, God, because I cannot see clearly right now. Remove the weight of confusion from my heart and replace it with your peace. Hold my hand and guide me, because I know you love me more than anyone else in this world. God, I trust you with my life and I need your presence more than ever. Amen. Fred, I hope I didn't disturb you. That's why I called before coming. I thought maybe during your lunch break, I could meet you here at the office and we could talk in peace.
Good that you called first. By the way, what fresh piece of advice has your elder sister given you this time, Luna?
Fred, I haven't even started talking yet, and you've already begun with sarcasm. Can't you at least listen to me before jumping to conclusions?
Luna, every time you come to me, you bring some lecture, some lesson, some ready-made wisdom. So I just thought, why not ask in advance what chapter you plan to teach me today?
Fred, this isn't a lecture. I want clarity. Tell me, when are we getting married?
For me, even to moral works. Just hand in your resignation first, and I'll have no issue. You already know the other conditions. I won't meet your elder sister, and I won't let you meet her either. That kind of toxicity won't enter my house.
So you mean, the very first step to becoming part of your life is for me to quit my job? And after that, one by one, I'm supposed to cut ties with my own family? Fred, is this marriage or a list of commands?
Of course. I've told you many times before, Luna. My wife will follow me. No debates, no arguments. That's the way I live. Time and circumstances may change, but I won't. If I feel something is right, I will impose it. That's who I am.
Then this is the end of every conversation between us. You don't want a partner, Fred, you want a remote control. I've always compromised, but don't expect me to surrender the things that are non-negotiable. Either you learn to change with me, or I walk away. And if you refuse, then so be it. I choose my path, and you can keep yours. Because love cannot survive when it is suffocated. Sorry, Fred, I can't do this anymore.
I don't care. I never invited her into my life. She came on her own. If she has decided to walk away, let her go. It makes no difference to me. Before her, many others came and left, and I survived just fine. Does she really think she can change me? No, that's impossible. I honestly don't care whether she wants to marry me or not. My life will always move according to my rules, my terms, and my conditions. I am not afraid of loneliness. I would rather face it head-on than live under someone else's control. The way that girl Luna was talking to me, it wasn't love, it was manipulation. She was trying to blackmail me emotionally, trying to make me believe that I would be left all alone. But I am not weak enough to fall for that. I know my own worth. Whether someone stays with me or leaves me, it doesn't shake my identity. I will never change myself just to please someone. I am who I am, and I will remain the same. If a woman wants to share her life with me, she must accept me as I am, not as she wishes me to be. In my life, the one who marries me must be ready to live according to my direction. She should be willing to walk with me the way I choose. If she agrees, fine, we will have a life together. Otherwise, I don't need anyone forcing themselves into my world. I'd rather stand alone than compromise who I am.
One day this man will regret it. He thinks he can control everyone, that the world should bend according to his will. But real life doesn't work like that. In a relationship, until you give your partner equal respect and value, life cannot move forward in peace. I tried. This was my last attempt, my final trial. Everyone warned me. They told me clearly, a man like him never changes. But I wanted to believe otherwise. Now I see the truth. I understand why, 2 or 3 times before, marriage talks were brought up for him, yet the girls refused at the end. They saw the same thing I see now. He is stubborn, arrogant, and incapable of compromise. He is a self-centered man. He cannot stand anyone else's success. He cannot tolerate someone moving ahead of him. If you keep praising him, obeying him, and living only by his words, then he is pleased. But the moment you speak for yourself, the moment you disagree, he turns against you as if you are his enemy. People like him always end up lonely. Whether it is a man or a woman, no one wants to spend their life with a controlling person. If a woman behaves the way Fred does, no man would ever choose her. And if a man behaves this way, no woman would ever want to live with him. This is the reality. I have decided I cannot walk this path with him. Our roads are now separate. My life will not be chained to his conditions. I will not sacrifice my dignity, my freedom, and my identity just to be with someone who only seeks control. From this point on, Fred and I have no future together.
Fred, this was bound to happen. I already knew it, and I even told myself that one day this would come true. This is exactly what happens when a man does not stay close to God. His heart begins to fill with pride, and his mind tells him, I am someone great, I need no one. But the truth is, when a man thinks he is so wise in his own eyes, he becomes a fool. Such wisdom is only empty and makes him blind to reality. That is what you allowed to happen, Fred. You kept pushing away the very people who truly loved you, who wanted your good, who stood by your side in every storm. Self-centeredness is like poison. It blinds you to others and makes you believe the world exists only for you. A person who lives only for himself cannot truly love others, because his heart has no room for them. And when he refuses correction, he walks straight into his own destruction. Fred, you have done this not once, not twice, but 4 times. Every time, you chose your pride over humility, your ego over relationship. We tried to explain, we tried to warn, we tried to help. But you chose your way instead of God's way. And now you stand in the middle of the consequences. I cannot say more than this, son. We have already explained what needed to be explained.
Maybe I should not have told you. I felt like I was giving you a chance to speak against me, and maybe I was wrong to open my mouth. But still, I thought it was better if you knew, at least for your knowledge.
No, Fred. I thank you for telling me. It is a heavy kindness you have shown me, to share this truth, even if it is painful. But remember this, son, the one who walks with pride will always stumble, but the one who humbles himself before God will be lifted up.
After a few months, Luna had moved on with her life and eventually got married. 3 years later, tragedy struck Fred's life. First his father passed away, and only 9 months later, his mother also left this world. Suddenly, Fred was left completely alone. He began to feel the weight of emptiness in every gathering he attended. Surrounded by people, yet isolated in his own mind, he realized that because of his arrogant attitude, his self-centered nature, and his controlling behavior, he had pushed everyone far away from him. Even in his office, where once he had colleagues close to him, no one wanted to speak with him anymore. Fred tried to make conversation, but people would turn their faces away. He found himself sinking deeper into silent depression, watching others laugh and live while he carried his loneliness everywhere. In a desperate attempt to find companionship, he even proposed to a woman, asking her to marry him. But by then, his reputation had already spread. Everyone knew about his controlling nature. The woman too rejected him outright, saying she could never marry a man like him. Each rejection, each turned face, pierced him deeper, showing him the true cost of the life he had chosen. Now, at this stage, Fred began to realize the harsh truth. Life had become unbearably tough. For the first time, he genuinely wanted to change himself, to end his controlling nature, and to treat people differently. But it was too late. The damage was already done. He had made people hate him so much that no one was willing to come close again. The regret grew inside him like a fire, and he kept thinking, this is my fault. If my marriage never happened, if I lost everyone, I am 110% responsible. I destroyed my own life. Truly, I am tired. I am exhausted of this loneliness. I have become a prisoner of my own empty house. Not a single woman wants to talk to me anymore. Forget women, even men, my colleagues, my friends. No one wants to talk to me. And I know the reason very well. It is my fault, entirely my fault. I destroyed everything with my own hands. I used to think that if I marry, it will be on my terms and conditions. I wanted my wife to live only according to my commands, my rules, my decisions. But today I realize, this world doesn't work like that. No one can dance to your tunes forever. No one can walk in life only the way you demand. Every human being has the right to live free, to breathe, to choose. Luna. That woman was truly good. Very good. She had patience, she had love, she had a big heart. But what did I do? I tried to chain her spirit, I tried to control her every step. And because of my selfish, self-centered behavior, I lost her too. Today, when I look at her from afar, I see her happy, smiling with her husband and her little son. She is enjoying a life of peace and love, while I sit here, surrounded by nothing but regret. Let me tell you the truth, this is what happens to people who are self-centered. Those who are controlling, who think marriage means keeping your partner under command, who believe they can set terms and conditions in a relationship, they are the ones who end up with nothing. Such people always become victims of loneliness. Because relationships are not contracts. They are bonds of love, trust, and respect. Look at me. My marriage never happened, and now no one wants to marry me. People avoid me because they know what I was like. I begged God many times for forgiveness, for the way I treated people, for my harsh and controlling nature. But still, I am left completely alone. These walls of my home feel like they are eating me alive. And I say to you who are listening to my words, never walk on the path of controlling behavior. It will only destroy you, as it destroyed me. Instead, learn to handle your relationships with love. Listen to your partner. Give them importance. Give them value. Marriage is not about one person commanding and the other obeying. It is about walking side by side, supporting each other through every test of life. If you only demand and never give, your relationship will collapse. If you only want to control, you will end up being alone. Why do so many people stay single? Not because they are unfortunate, but because their own behavior drives people away. Rudeness, harsh words, and arrogance create walls around you. People might tolerate you for some time, but not forever. Slowly, everyone walks away. I know this now, because everyone has already walked away from me. So my advice is this: have patience. Practice humility. Show kindness. Take strength from prayers. The more you stay close to God, the more your heart will soften, the more your wisdom will increase. Read His words, and you will learn how to live life with balance. When you walk in wisdom, you will learn to handle your partner with love, not control. Do not repeat my mistake. Do not push away the people who love you. Do not let arrogance, pride, and self-centeredness destroy your life. Because once people leave, they don't come back. Once trust is broken, it is almost impossible to repair. If you value your relationships, then handle them with gentleness, with patience, with respect. I wish I had listened to my parents when they warned me. They told me again and again, but I refused to listen. Today, I am alone. I am the proof that a controlling man destroys his own home with his own hands. Don't become like me. Hold on to your loved ones with kindness, not with chains. If you want peace in life, if you want true happiness, then choose love, choose humility, and choose God.